We have an update on the Vitaly situation. If you guys don't know who Vitaly is, he is an OG YouTuber who initially gained fame by doing like fake pranks on YouTube. Vitaly went to the Philippines and wanted to go be a nuisance streamer. And he started messing with the locals, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, a lot of illegal things. He broke a ton of laws in like 3 hours, and they caught him and arrested him. Here he is after being in Filipino prison, and he's likely going to be there for many years, which is wild. Let's see what Legal Mindset has to say.
Vitaly has had a big change, and we're going to talk about that right now on the Legal Mindset.
Yeah,
we teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a fast facts video, a quick and dirty version of the latest news regarding nuisance streamers. In this case, Vitaly in the Philippines, but we also cover Johnny Somali and many other, let's say, interesting characters around the globe. So in the case of Vitaly, we last left off, in case you've forgotten and gotten behind, with Vitaly begging for bail, begging to be released from jail, begging.
I bet he's begging. I bet he's begging. Vitaly being in a Filipino prison, that guy's huge. He's a big bulked up guy, right? And then that guy's used to eating. That guy's used to eating a lot of protein to stay that big. They ain't got that. I think he's getting like a cup of rice a day. That's what he gets to eat. Something like that. It's like, I think it's like a 30 cent per day, like a food budget for prisoners.
To be let out. That was denied. That was turned down. And indeed, we had, following up along with that, news that both Russia and the United States do not want to accept him for deportation. Russia explicitly coming out and saying, do not pull a Vitaly, condemning his actions, telling Russian citizens, Russian nationals not to behave like Vitaly.
So yeah, Vitaly is Russian, but he's lived a lot of years in the United States, but he's not a United States citizen. And in today's climate, there's no way they're going to let somebody get deported to the United States that's not American. No way. That's an just straight up, absolutely not. No way. I can't even believe they asked. Why would the Philippines ask? No, dude, we're not going to let you deport someone to our country that's not even from here. Not in this day and age, dude. Not in this climate.
Very much strongly coming against against Vitaly.
Yeah.
Whereas the U.S. saying, look, simply, we're not going to take this guy. So his hope was cut off for deportation. But today we had a big photo op as he changed custody. So a lot of people have been focusing on this, and my whole inbox has been full of photos like this, which is a photo of before.
What does changed custody mean? That's what I want to know. And wow. Look at that change. That's night and day. That is 1 cup of rice a day right there. That's what that is. No other means, no gear. I mean, I think this guy is taking something to be bigger. You know, he's doing the steroid type stuff. I don't know much about steroids. I mean, obviously. But I mean, I've heard about them, and this is like he's only been there for like a couple months. So if he's changed that much in just a couple months, that's gotta be like taking something to get that big. That, I mean, I don't know. And to lose it that much time, that's crazy. He looks like he aged. He went from 30 something to 45, dude.
Before and after. So on the left here, we have a photo from when he was just detained. So when he was just brought into custody, you can obviously see he's got a lot of bulk on him, and then you've got today, the fresh photo on the right. You see he's lost a lot of that bulk. He's slimmed down a lot. You can see it in the face. You can see it in other parts of the body. Now, look, there's no indicators that he is unhealthy or that, once again, he's, received any sort of bruises or beatings or anything that many of the Vitaly sympathizers have tried to say is going to go on in jail. However,
I watched this live. This is one of his PDF file stings. He got Akon on his stream to sing Akon's famous song, and this dude is getting arrested by the cops that was there to meet some young kid. And they just have Akon live singing it. There's Vitaly. This shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed these Vitaly streams. They're fucking whack. And this guy's clearly on like Vitaly's on like coke or something crazy, bro. Okay, he's like just out of his mind on these things. And I enjoyed watching it because it was so chaotic. It's like a train wreck they can't look away from. Isn't that funny? But who's locked up now? Pull up. Now it's Vitaly who's locked up. That's what's funny. That's ironic.
Yes, he has lost weight, and most people that are familiar with this think, well, you know, if he's was on or using something that was performance enhancing, some sort of gear, that might be a very simple reason why he's cut down that weight, because he's no longer got access to whatever sort of supplements, testosterone, steroids he was taking on his own while he's in jail. He's not getting any special treatment where he gets to get geared up in jail.
Right.
Now, while I think this is an important photo, and I think this is something that people need to see, people need to be aware of, what I actually think is more important is not him slimming down, although that is something to note, but actually the change of custody. And
right.
this
So what
is
does that
very
mean?
intriguing, because the change of custody actually shows us that this is something that is going to go on for a long time.
Ketamine?
So he's actually now under BJMP custody. So the Bureau of Immigration, BI, on Monday said controversial Russian streamer Vitaly Zorovetsky has been transferred to the custody of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, BJMP. In a statement, Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado said Zorovetsky was transferred to BJMP on June 11th due to the local cases he is facing in the Philippines.
Here's my question. Is it a better environment or a worse environment from what he just came from? So it sounds like he left a temporary holding position and is now being moved to a more permanent one until his court stuff is done, which is going to take a few years. Or they could speed it up. I'm not really sure. Ketamine? Is that an upper or a downer? Because when I watched his streams, he was on an upper. He was on definitely on, or maybe a cocktail.
He noted that the foreign vlogger will remain in BJMP's custody until the resolution of his court cases, after which he'll be returned back to the BI for deportation. According to Viedo, Zorovetsky previously requested for temporary release through bail, but no such relief was granted. It's not just a matter of administrative procedure. It's about protecting the integrity of our immigration laws.
Yeah, they're making an example out of him.
Foreigners who abuse our hospitality and violate our laws must face the consequences.
Bro, this guy had no clue what he was walking into. You should see that. Look up the streams. Go find them. You could see the stuff that he was doing. It was wild. He did some terrible things to random people. You know, he stole things, threatened people, assaulted them verbally. You know, like just, I don't know, he's doing some like gay shit to just random dudes. Like, why are you doing gay shit to random strangers? And you know, it's like nobody likes that. When I heard he was doing that in the Philippines, I was like, oh no, they don't fuck around there, dude. And I'm actually super familiar with a bunch of Filipino people just from being in the military, because I was in the Marines and on the Bonhomme Richard. It's an LHD-6, like it's like an aircraft carrier, but for vertically taking off craft, not, you know, launching them kind of a thing. On the Navy ships, I don't know what it is, but there's just a ton of Filipino people that join the Navy. I don't understand. And all the people that cook in the galley, right? They're all Filipino, and so that's what you just get tons of rice when you're on the ship, which makes sense. It's actually pretty effective to have on a ship, and those people don't fuck around. You don't fuck with those Filipinos. I would never fuck with them in their country.
The Bureau is resolute. We will not allow our deportation process to be undermined by publicity.
It wasn't a cop scooter. It was a security guard scooter that he like stole. But yeah, he shouldn't be touching other people's property. You know,
or legal maneuvering. No special treatment will be given. So Vitaly said he tried to say, hey, no, I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to behave. I totally won't run away. I totally won't flee. I'll totally be great when I leave. That was denied. He is a massive flight risk, an absolute flight risk, which is something that is a primary consideration when you're considering, hey, if you're going to let somebody on
I believe he would leave.
Now,
he would try to get out.
Important thing here in the transfer from the BI is we do not expect the US or Russia to be coming and swooping in. They would have not made this transfer if Russia or the US was going to come down and was going to, you know, perk him up and deport him and take him right away.
So this is definitely a more permanent place. It makes me think the more permanent place is, I mean, it could be worse. It could be better. It could be like a more, not like, I mean, it's still prison or jail or whatever, but it's, you know, the conditions may be a little bit better, but they could also go the complete opposite direction.
If that was going to happen, he would have stayed with the BI, he would have been gone. But the Philippines clearly has information, clearly is in the know, clearly has gotten the message from both the Russia and the United States that they do not want Vitaly. They're not going to accept him, and they're going to keep him in accordance with their local procedures. So he's now going to be kept in a jail where they would process local cases where they're going to deal with locals. So this is something that shows us that he will be prosecuted under Philippine law. He's not going to get special treatment as an American. He's not going to be sent to America to deal with whatever he would deal with there, which probably wouldn't be much. If he'd be deported, he probably would just walk away in the United States. That's not what's going to happen here. He's going to face the full justice in the Philippines, and he's also going to face the process, it seems, as it would normally proceed. So he's going to face it like a Filipino that would have broken the law, like anybody else
as he should.
That comes to the Philippines.
He needs to deal with the consequences for his actions, but also they are making an example out of this guy, as they should. I think more countries should do this.
A lot, and I think that's absolutely the right way to go. I think the Philippines once again takes a giant W on this.
Agree.
But I want to know, what do you guys think about this? And what do you think about Vitaly's weight loss? What do you think the cause is? Let me know in the comments. Smash the like button, and I'll see you on the next.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
There's Johnny Somali. Oh no. You don't want to get age restricted, bro. Don't show people getting hit. Subscribe, liking. This is Legal Mindset. Let me throw you guys a link in the chat. If you guys want to get, you know, he does a lot of updates on anything that changes.